Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook on Friday the 17th of November. So looking at the euro dollar, and well, we've seen a push up from yesterday's close. Now yesterday we put in a bearish pivot swing there, hasn't been triggered, so not in play yet, but if we was to see a break of yesterday's lows, I'd expect a bit more of a continuation down, maybe towards that daily 21, so long as it stays bullish as it is now, and if it closes higher than yesterday's bar, it could actually leave us in a more of a bullish signal going forward for Monday. But it's just come down, so well, the previous 8 hours saw us running up. We're currently having a bit of a retrace at the moment, selling back off. It has caught its daily pivot, not worried about that. It's in fact gone up right the way up to its R2 today. The only thing is, you can see these daily pivots are quite pinched, so we'll probably have to discount them to quite some extent. So we could see just about everything and anything done here at the moment. As I said, it's selling off relatively strongly on this current hour here, but we'll see how we run post 8 o'clock. Not a clear market now. This is really a break of yesterday's lows, really makes me more bearish, but if it just sort of sits in this sort of pattern it's sitting in at the moment, there's not much I can do. It's currently just put a lower high in this intermediate time frame, which makes it look more erring towards the bearish side. We'll see how it runs out through this morning. I'm going to have to wait on that one. It's not clear for me. Okay, so let's look at the pound. The pound is clearer, or trying to be clearer. However, it is just currently running into a load of resistance. Now, it really depends on how it reacts to this resistance. It's just broken actually a double top. It's run into its monthly pivot there. There's a 500, a 50. There's quite a lot of moving averages running across at that point. So a lot of confluence around that area. Pushed up a little bit more than I was looking yesterday to possibly take a short position off what I was looking at the time, but it never got there. It reacted short of that for a while, but at the moment it's there's a bit of a divergence on this hourly here. There is an untouched daily pivot. I don't think with the amount of movement we've seen through that Asian session we would get that far down, but we may pull back towards those 60-20s at some point if we see a break of that 68. So there may be some mileage between the two to be played if it breaks that way. Side of that, further upside, well, there's always potential. It could break through. It's still got some time in this current hour to push on and break the divergence moves that's happening there, but it does look like a certain weakness sitting there at the highs. Dollar yen. Dollar yen, well, that's continued the sell-off pattern there. The strengthening coming through at the moment. It didn't quite manage to follow through yesterday, but has this morning. So at the moment it's sitting there. It's probably on some patterns. I was looking to see if we see some divergence, but there's probably no divergence sitting there. It's a lower move here, so that's fine. Sometimes you just it sort of looks a bit sort of like a divergence on 4 hours. It's not quite. It's pushed off. It's probably worked off the move, so it makes it a weak possibility there. So overall, just consolidating now on this hourly pattern, and this will give us a bit of a picture. It's already called a daily pivot S1, S2. It may have well and truly done its range for the day. I mean, if you look at the range relative to the previous, the previous day there, and quite often it's already done that sort of range through this Asian session. Makes it more difficult to pick up unless it, as I say, unless it breaks these lows and really goes for the sell point. Okay, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar continued its weakness even with the other markets rallying. It's continued to the downside there, pushing off towards the monthly S1, the weekly S3. Now we may see a bounce off the combined pivots there. We'll see how we run from there, but it is looking weak at the moment and well, may push through. Now we've done again this huge range relative to the previous, well, certainly to the previous days, and well, looking weak all over, whereas the others continue pushing up through the Asian session. It sold off strongly come 3 o'clock in the 3 o'clock in the morning there, and off it went. Aussie weak at the moment, and the Canadian dollar finally. So Canadian dollar continues in this very small range, and it's intraday. It's a very whipsaw-y market at the moment. It seems choppy. So this really summarises the week perfectly. These 4 hourly bars here since Monday. Had a nice little rally on Monday, and then from there it's rallied, pulled back, rallied, pulled back, and currently in a little rally at the moment. Maybe certainly pushing up there again. It ran early at the same time as the Aussie dollar ran there off its pushing. It does make me wonder if we should be looking at what's happening to oil at that time. Well, not a lot then. So, okay, so maybe just the commodity market's weak. So there we go. Pushing up at the moment. It's already moved so far. It's pushed into those prior lows that it didn't quite make yesterday, and at the moment it looks like it's pushing up. Push above this daily pivot there may see us running back towards yesterday's highs, the way it's running at the moment, but it's all early morning stuff now, and we'll see how it runs, but not clear to me at this point. Okay, so a lot of lacking in clarity here. We've seen this a bit over the markets over the mornings. Just looking at what's out today in terms of news. We've got Draghi speaking at 8:30 this morning now, due to deliver a speech entitled "Europe into a New Era." Does that mean without Britain? The Frankfurt European Banking Congress. Skin then. That's at 8:30. Following on from that, we've got the German Buber president speaking at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Now, he does create some volatility in the market sometimes. It's a very powerful position, so we'll watch out for that at 1 p.m. And then we've got the Canadian inflation at 1:30. Side of that, nothing much. US building permits at 1:30 hardly ever move the markets. Even the Canadian CPI is not a big mover, but you never know. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.